Hello retro gamers, it is now 2017. Cheers. That one's for you, G-Wild, or Gwild. Sorry, I'm not actually sure how to pronounce your name. I know you want a beer in bed video, but here's a beer on a couch in a living room video because, well, I'm not in my bedroom right now, I'm not even in the same house, but I guess I can get to that in a bit. The reason I want to make this video is I just want to have a bit of a chat about basically Retro Game On in 2017, what I want to achieve, what I'm aiming for, which I guess achieving an aim, I guess that's the same thing, isn't it? And yeah, just a bit of a touch-based video. As you can see, over the last couple of weeks, I've been a bit lazy of videos. I did release, you know, my favorite retro games and favorite modern games, but they weren't real videos. They didn't take any effort. They're basically the same amount of effort as this video, where I'm sitting down here in front of the camera without a script or anything and just yakking, basically. Although this time I'm drinking beer, so really it's even worse. But I don't know, I guess I just wanted to give myself a bit of a break, even though I didn't release as many videos last year as I wanted to, but that's going to be a major point of this video as well. In case you don't know, I have mentioned it a few times in a few other videos, but I was a full-time student up until the end of last year and actually qualified now. Woo! So I finished study. Study is done. So I'm really excited about that, because that means this year I can really put a lot of time and effort into making videos. I'll have a lot more time because it was my final year, so it really was a huge time sink. I did work on some videos at the end of the year, but just over Christmas and New Year's. And then there's sort of that early January where you just, you know, you can't be stuffed. But I've been catching up on a lot of my modern games, really. So a few games that I mentioned in the video I just released, but I've been playing some other stuff. I've nearly finished Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I think I'll probably finish that today, and then I'll go on to Mafia 3. And after that, I promise Retro Game On, it will be a part of my schedule a lot more, I guess you can say, because once you get into the rhythm of continuously making videos, it's very easy. But if you fall out of that rhythm, then it's you know, it's like keeping a kitchen clean, basically. If you keep it going, you know, it's really good, it's really fluid, but if you stop doing it, everything just goes to shit, and that's where rodents come in and start eating all the shit you've left on the counter. So anyway, not like that's a true story or anything. So yeah, so what can I chat about? So you're probably wondering where I am. I guess I'll get to that in a second. First off, I'll probably just talk about the videos that I want to release this year, and it's not really going to be drastically different. Basically, the two main series I want to focus on, well, I say series, is my reviews, because I've always done reviews. Reviews have always been an integral part of Retro Game On. Like, the first videos were reviews, majority of the videos were reviews. I don't know the exact number, but if you look at the playlists tab, the reviews playlist is definitely the biggest. So I want to keep doing reviews like I always have. I want to do a lot more Retro Game On PC this year, because I only did a couple of videos last year, which was kind of sucky, to be honest. So I definitely want to do more Retro Gaming PC. I don't actually have I have my main PC. I don't actually have my Retro Gaming, I don't have either of my Retro Game. I keep forgetting I've got two Retro Gaming PCs now. Both of those are still at my childhood home, so I'll have to go and collect those. But once I do, I'll definitely want to do a few more. Actually, not my next review, but one of my next reviews will be Omicron, because I reviewed that on GameCloud. So since I played it and reviewed it, I thought I might as well review it on here as well, since I have already reviewed it. And yeah, that's just a quick thing I'll add while I'm on the subject. I am a writer for a website called GameCloud now. I did briefly mention that in a couple of videos ago. That's just a local gaming website for Perth, Western Australia, which is where I live. So yeah, I'll mostly be doing, I'm a staff writer for them now, so I'll mostly just be doing modern stuff, but I'll probably mention that every now and again. I was going to do, geez, I can't remember. This happens to me all the time when I'm talking to the camera, just simple things just escape my mind. Anyway, there's a game, there's an indie game I was going to review and it got delayed, so that won't be out for a little bit. There's another game, it hasn't actually been released yet, so hopefully I'll be able to get a review copy of that. And yeah, anyway, I'll probably add it into the end of videos whenever I review. So if you ever want to, you know, see more of my written stuff as well, besides from retrogamer.com, which has been a bit ignored recently, I should admit. there's always Game Cloud. So anyway, lost my train of thought. That's right, I was gonna have some beer. Love Peroni. It's good beer. So yes, reviews, retro game on PC. Definitely want to do a bit more of, sorry, I just came home from work. I'm actually a little bit knackered. Wonders of the retro gaming world, of course. I don't know how that slipped my mind. I'm just kind of in a daze at the moment, you've probably noticed. So it's probably for the best that I'm not actively making videos at the moment, except for shitty ones like these. And I'm just thinking a lot about Deus Ex, because I sort of finished on a cliffhanger last night and I had to go to sleep because I had to go to work. So yeah, that I guess that is on my mind. So yeah, definitely more wonders of the retro gaming world, because over the years I've released several different series and a lot of them have quite honestly not gone anywhere. A good example of that is Retro News Fortnightly. I can't believe I can remember that off the top of my head, but not Wonders of the Retro Gaming World. But Wonders of the Retro Gaming World I found to be quite successful, and people really seem to enjoy those, and I really liked making them. So definitely have more of those coming this year. There's a new series I want to introduce as well, and this may or may not go anywhere, but I'll tell you about it now. And it involves one of these guys, a Raspberry Pi. I'm gonna call, I haven't really finalized the name yet, but it's gonna be something along the lines of unreleased or unobtainable. So basically there I'll be reviewing games that weren't released. So Star Fox 2 on the SNES, for example, that was basically the whole game was created, and then yeah, they just basically abandoned it because I wanted to because the N64 was coming out and they wanted to focus on that. I think that's, I can't quite remember the story, but yeah, that seems pretty, yeah, just to abandon a whole game like that. But then again, they are Nintendo, lots of money, I guess. So games like that weren't released, give them a bit of a review. We can talk about what they could have been, how completed they were, and also games that are just insanely expensive. Games that I would never in my right mind actually pay the asking price for. So I'm not a huge fan of emulation, using emulation for my reviews. A lot of you will know that I'm actually strictly against that. All my reviews, I've used footage from the actual games, physical games on the physical consoles. So I use an Elgato HD to capture the footage. The only exception so far has been Game Gear games, because I can't easily record the screen. It just looks like crap if I just try to film it right up. So my rule of that is that they're games that I actually own on Game Gear, because I've actually surprisingly got a sizable Game Gear collection. I just seem to have stumbled upon them over the years. And usually I just do arcade games, so I can just play them heaps on my Game Gear, and then when I finally do want to capture footage, I can just run them on an emulator. And for future Game Gear reviews, I probably will use the Raspberry Pi 3 and just use the Elgato, because using capturing software on computers with emulators can generally be a bit shifty, and that's another reason. But I think for games that, well, definitely games that haven't been released, because no physical release exists anyway, I think using emulation for those is okay. And the unobtainable games, like, I'm not going to pay $300 for a game. I simply can't afford that. So yeah, tell me what you think of that. I think it could be an interesting series. Within the coming months, I'll probably actually do Star Fox 2, to be honest, because I really like the original Star Fox. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know if you guys really care about my personal situation and my personal life too much, so I won't go on about it too much. That's why I talked about all the gaming stuff beforehand. But you may be wondering where the hell I am and why I have my own living room. I'm not making enough money to actively live out of home, unfortunately. I'm still, just because I just finished studying, I'm still working in a casual position in a store, but I am actively looking for full-time work. So yeah, if you know any full-time work in Perth, let me know. But I'm actually sort of in like a long-term house. Oh, there's a really big fucking spider on the wall. Sorry. Just a huntsman. But I thought it was a stain in the wall, and I was like, no, it's a big freaking hairy spider. Anyway, I'm in a long-term, I'm basically house sitting long term. The house I've been living in is actually my neighbor's house, so I haven't moved too far away from home. But yeah, basically I'm just looking after it because the owners aren't here. And honestly, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I could be here for another month, or I could be here for another year. It's definitely too hard to tell. But I'm basically just keeping the house and the garden maintained. And the garden itself is really a job in itself, especially. So I'm very fortunate that I get to live here rent-free at the moment. I'm just covering my bills and obviously my food so I don't starve and die, and beer, of course. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good arrangement. I basically have my lights set up permanently in just the living room. I've taken it over. I've got my computer there, I've got my PlayStation, my TV, my lights. It's good stuff. It really is. It's a lot better than cramming everything into my bedroom. Like, everything used to be in my bedroom. That used to be my castle. And now the bedroom I'm sleeping in now, that's just where I sleep and read, basically. But then again, I have another lounge room here, and that has a reading lamp. So sometimes I read there as well. It's really strange having this whole house to myself. It's kind of weird, but I mean, I do have my big spider bro up there. I'll take a photo and incorporate it in. I don't know how people feel about spiders. Some of them love them, some of them don't. I'm impartial. I don't really care. I don't bother them if they don't bother me. Anyway, yeah, definitely rambling now. But yeah, too long didn't read. 2017 for Retro Gamer, and I can see being quite good because I'm gonna have a lot more time for videos, because study is a huge time sink, like absolutely. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Bonsoir, my friends. Bonsoir, I don't even know if that's right. But yeah, have a good day. I shall see you very soon. I'm gonna finish Deus Ex now, and then I'm gonna play Mafia 3. And then my little holiday, I'll call it holiday, but I mean, this is a hobby. I love doing it. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Thank you very much. You're all wonderful people for watching. I hit 1,740 subscribers the other day. In fact, I hit 1,700 subscribers. It only feels like a couple of weeks ago. I'm already halfway to 1,800. So next couple of months, I'll be hitting 2,000 hopefully. Very exciting. But yep, for the 4th time, goodbye. I shall see you in the next video.